I know he might not look that scary, but as I walk around, you guys might notice that his tongue is actually blue. So whenever a predatory animal comes around and tries to eat him, the blue-tongued skink is going to open its mouth, show the blue coloration. They're going to think he's venomous or poisonous, and they're going to avoid him. Now, if they find out that he is not venomous and he's not poisonous, they're going to eat him like a chicken nugget. Or just like me, they can be 10 times faster than that. They'll go towards their burrows. They live underground for the most part. And underground, they eat things at the roots of plants. The plants themselves, worms, crickets, lizards, snakes, walking above them. So they stay underground for hours, if not days, waiting for the predators to go away. Once they go away, of course, the only armadillo species that can actually turn completely into a ball. Most other species cannot turn completely into a ball because they have too many bands. These guys have 3 bands. 1, 2, and 3 that allow him to fold completely into a ball so that most predators cannot eat them. Now most other armadillos have too long of a tail. The tail does not fit whenever they try and turn into a ball. These guys have a short tail, almost the same size and shape as the head, so they fit right next to each other if he wants to turn predatory. Things like otters cannot, but larger things like crocodiles and jaguars can still penetrate. I want you guys to remember, whenever you're driving, always drive around, but always look around for wildlife crossing the roads, especially sunrise, sunset, and at night. Give them a chance to cross the road, okay? They can't see you, so honk at them. That way they can hear you, and they understand they have to get out of your way. But also, if you drive in North America and you drive a small car, we have 9-banded armadillos about this big right here. If you hit one, you might not have a car after, okay? So always look around for wildlife. He doesn't bite, I promise. As you guys can see, what type of animal is this? Are you sure it's an alligator? Oh, you're not so sure. It is an alligator, okay? But it's an American alligator. There are 2 species of alligator. One in the United States. The second one in China, of course, called the Chinese alligator. Now we know he's an alligator and not a crocodile, starting with that snout. The snout of the alligator is very round and broad.
One thing I do want to reinforce is that this is still a wild alligator. He might try to bite Peter here in a second. That does happen because, after all, he is an alligator. So we're asking him to perform these 3 commands. You'll see he's going to do that pretty well. He's going to stand up nice and tall. He'll hold his mouth open. Once he does, Peter's going to ask that 3rd and final command, which is a hold command. Which is basically just asking him to hold right where they're at and not move. And if he does all 3 correctly, then he gets fed a piece of food just like that. Now, like I mentioned, he is going transitioning into being really hot. We are just coming in from the winter and through the spring. And this alligator is a big diva. He really does have everything going for him. He has a nice big heated pool, and he understands that he doesn't have to do the show if he doesn't want to, and he does take full advantage of that. In fact, he has not been doing shows for the past 6 months, so he is being a little slow for us today and being a little bit naughty. So you can see Peter kind of move his face away from him there. All right, I'll ask him to stand up one more time here. Now, this big alligator, when he does stand up, you'll see he does have an absolutely massive head. And with that head comes a lot of teeth. When he shows them off, he does have 80 to 82 teeth in his mouth at any point in time. Underwater, it makes it very difficult for us, but he did pretty good there. So we'll let him get his reward. And he did hear a little bit of that light pressure. Like I said, 2. Here we go. Another nice tall stand up here. He's been very slow for us today, so Peter's going to entice him here. Once he has him holding nice and still, he's going to do something pretty cool for you guys. He's going to turn his back to an apex predator. Kids, please, reminder, stay in school. Do not be like Peter. Excellent job there.
You should get in the water.
You want me to get in?
I want you to get in the water.
Ooh, I don't know if I... With this guy here, we've made it pretty easy for veterinarians to simply have to just walk in behind him. You don't have to restrain him or anything of that nature. All we have to do is call him to a spot right there, have him hold nice and still. I give my thumbs up. I'm going to lift his tail up out of the water. We'll see how he's doing. He's still paying attention to Pete, so now I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to place it in between some scales. I'll push really hard, and it's really annoying here. What that does is that gets him used to that pressure on that soft skin in between those scales. If you ever have to give an injection to an alligator, you do it right by the base of their tail. And it makes it really easy for noise and get Crusher's attention, and Peter is going to see if I get bit today. So hopefully that doesn't happen. All right, ready? All right, here we go. Help! Help! Crusher, I'm falling and I can't get up! Crusher, help! All right, he did a good job. We'll let him get his reward. I'm going to quickly make my way out of the pool, though, as I do not have any. Go.
Oh, good.
That is adorable. It looks like Crusher wants a little bit more than a kiss. All right, well, that is going to do it, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed this show. Let's give it up for Peter.
All right, folks, how are we doing this morning? Good. All right. Well, welcome to Wild Florida, and welcome to our alligator feeding show. My name is Peter, and I'll be alligators and crocodiles. So, yes, we do have both in here. 62 American alligators, 6 West African crocodiles, a Morlet's crocodile, and a Siamese crocodile. For those of you that are wondering, how do you make sure alligators and crocodiles get along? Food, right? It's that simple. We make sure that they're fed and they will all behave. And man, that sound was incredible. I heard that jaw slap, but I missed it. And that's, we don't have to cook the food. We don't have to season the food. We have to do literally nothing but make sure it's not frozen. So, the reason why? Alligators are carnivores. And we all know, right? What do carnivores eat? Carnivores eat other animals, right? Yes, they eat other animals. Sure, they can't eat meat, but meat is not a complete diet. If we were to just give them chicken breasts and steak, they're not getting any calcium. Where do they get their calcium? From bones, right? And we can go through the list of all the other organs that they are required to eat in order to get a nutritionally complete diet. When they want to hunt something, they just sit completely still. They wait until an animal gets too close, and they take advantage of an opportunity. But what does teach them to approach people is being fed. Once they're given a piece of food, they remember for the next 60 to 100 years of their life, people equal food, and they will respond to your presence by approaching you and demanding food. And if you don't have food, that's where the danger can arise. When it comes to these alligators, they're very easily trainable, and it's very easy for them to remember how they get food because of their brain. Now, yes, I was just making fun of how small their brain is. We can have them back up, we can have them swim to us, we can have them stay on land. Again, as long as it's positively reinforced with food, it is possible. So we even try to do some of this desensitization. This is where we touch the alligator very lightly on the tip of their snout at first, and if they sit still, then we reward them with food. You'll notice every time this alligator tries to bite me, I don't give him a piece of food. Now, does this tame him down? Not at all right? But it will drastically reduce the amount of attempts he takes. In his head, he's going, huh? Every time I try to rip this guy's arm off, he doesn't feed me. But every time I don't try to rip his arm off, I get another piece of food. So this builds a pattern over time here. And they're calm, like Hank the Tank, or the one behind him, Einstein. Other alligators come up here, like Just behind him on the right. That's little Thomas, the gator that could. I don't know who named him Thomas. He's more of a diesel. This guy is not a nice alligator. Anytime I get close to him, he tries to bite me or lunge at me, so I don't even like getting this close to him. And if you're wondering, how can we tell them apart? Well, Kobe and I look at the same alligators every single day. It's probably like a teacher having students on the first day.
Falta ali, ó, Petting Zoo.